Welcome to Yagba's Epic Tales. Adole and Agbenu. Once upon a time, in a certain village, there lived a certain farmer named Idoko. Idoko wasn't just a farmer, but the wealthiest man in the village. He had many big farmlands and big barns. His barns were filled with big yam tubers. He also had many huts in his compound and domestic helps. Idoko was a philanthropist. He gave to the poor freely and generously. He was a good man and with a very kind heart. Idoko had two sons, Adole and Agbenu. Adole was the older of the two sons, while Agbenu was industrious and humble. Adole was lazy and arrogant. Why should I suffer myself to work? I am my father's first son, and his wealth will be mine soon, Adole would say whenever he was advised to stop being lazy and work. While Agbenu assists in his father's farm, Adole would roam the village with his friends. This made Idoko sad. He wished his first son would help him and be industrious like himself and his other son, Agbenu. Soon, it was time for Idoko to give his sons an inheritance, as it was the custom of their village. A man is expected to give his sons an inheritance when the first son gets to the age of 22. So, all other sons get their own inheritance alongside the first son, irrespective of their age. Adole was full with excitement. At last, I will have my inheritance and will enjoy life as I please, he said. Unknowing to Adole and Agbenu, a week before then, Idoko had met with the chief of the village. He had donated all he had, except for his hut, to charity. He handed over the authority of all his lands and barns as he asked the chief to distribute them and use them for the benefits of the village. So, on that day, Idoko called his two sons. I love you both as my sons, and whatever I give to you today, take it in good faith and make good use of it. Remember, I will never wish for any of you to suffer, Idoko said. After that, he brought out two small dry yams. He gave one to Adole and the other to Agbenu. This is your inheritance. Plant it and put it to good use. It is all I have to offer to you, Idoko said to his sons. Adole and Agbenu were shocked and disappointed. I am your first son. This can't possibly be all you will give to me, Adole said. I have worked and served you all these years, father. This can't possibly be all you will give to me, Agbenu said. The two boys were angry. Each wondered why their father had done this wickedness to them. I don't know how to farm. I have never planted anything, Adole said to himself. Even if I want to plant this, what can this small dry yam produce? He said. And in anger, he threw away his yam. I will work as a laborer in people's farm, so that at least I can have something to eat. I can't continue to starve, he said to himself. But because he was lazy, he could barely do much work. So he only got very little pay and had so little to eat. He grew lean and looked tattered. Meanwhile, Agbenu consoled himself. I would plant this yam and nurture it, and when it produces, I will plant it again so that I can have more yam tubers, he said. For the time being, I will work as a laborer in other people's farm, so that I can feed for a while until my own yam grows. And while I do that, I will tend to my yam in the evening, Agbenu decided. Agbenu did just as he said. He worked in other people's farm while he tended to his yam plant in the evening. 14 days later, to Agbenu's surprise, the yam plant have grown and was ripe for harvest. Agbenu found out that the yam produced more and bigger tuber than that of his father. This was mysterious, but Agbenu was happy. The yam tubers yielded much more when Agbenu replanted it. And soon, within few years, Agbenu had become 10 times more wealthy than his father was. The small dry yam Idoko had given to his sons was no ordinary yam. If only Adole had knew and nurtured his own, and not threw it out of anger. If only he was not lazy, he would have found out what a treasure he got from his father. Adole learnt of his brother's success and tried to look for his own yam in the area where he had thrown it, but it was too late. He could not find the yam. I hope you enjoyed this story and you have learned from it. The moral lessons of this story is 1. To never be lazy, irrespective of our status or parents' status. Adole was lazy and had hoped on his father's wealth. The second moral lesson: learn to rise again even when we can't explain why things we experience happen. Remember, Agbenu had consoled himself and decided to plant his yam even when he could not understand why his father had given him a small dry yam after serving him for many years. Another moral lesson: learn to trust God and our elders. Adole and Agbenu's father had something better for them, which was the magical yam. And lastly, never act in anger. Adole had threw away his yam in anger. Maybe if he had kept it, he would have still have the yam and had the opportunity to plant the yam again when he learned the yam was no ordinary yam. I hope you enjoyed this story. What other moral lessons did you learn from the story? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Bye.